Look, in this video, I know full well that I am listing off ideas that would only hypothetically work under hypothetical situations in a game that we haven't even seen an official screenshot from yet. So do not berate me about why my idea wouldn't work when we don't even know what the game's gonna be like. On paper, under the right circumstances, these ideas seem fun, so don't take the video so seriously. What you should take seriously is your comfort. If you want to snag an eWin racing chair, there are links in the description. Use code 1boom20 for 20% off your order. So cool mechanics I'd like to see added. First of all, I want dolphin diving and sliding in the same game. If I want to dolphin dive away from a grenade or out of a window, or slide around a corner, I think I should be able to. They're both fantastic movement features, if done right, and having both of them could add a fun layer of fun. I don't know. I like dolphin diving out of windows and I like sliding around corners, so sue me. Again, it'd be pretty easy to set up, hold crouch while sprinting for a dive, tap crouch while sprinting for a slide. That could work, or you could invert that, you could maybe customize it in the settings to be its own button, but I think it should happen. I think it should be a part of the game. The next thing I want to see is actually based on a leak I read, and that's that there's going to be sprint aiming, the ability to sprint while aiming down your weapon sights. Now I'd want this to be wild and shaky, but more accurate than just simply sprinting and gung-ho firing from the hip. I think this would look really cool in the campaign for certain segments, but also just in multiplayer, while it would be wildly inaccurate, I think it's just another way to be more aggressive without trading all of your accuracy. Modern Warfare 2019 introduced mounting, which promoted more, campy and long-range playstyles, and I feel like the ability to run up on somebody while aiming down sight could encourage more fast and aggressive playstyles. Again, if done right, it could be pretty fun. The next thing I want to see is just a ripoff from Battlefield 5. I want tucking and rolling after a high fall. A seamless tuck and roll animation can be a little bit nauseating, but I feel like instead of you just breaking your ankles and your screen going all red, I think it'd be kind of cool if you land and instead of your punishment being you lose a bunch of health and you're one shot, your punishment is you have to do a little tuck and roll. I think it should be done by holding crouch in the air. That way if you just want to fall on your feet, take the damage and keep your gun up, you can, but if you'd rather not take the damage and tuck and roll out of the fall, you can do that too. Modern Warfare 2019 had some really awesome parkour mechanics, and I think this would add a lot to it. I loved it in Battlefield 5, and I think I'd love it in Call of Duty, although it would have to be done right. The other thing I want is something people complain about a lot in Advanced Warfare, but I don't care. I want quick reloading. I want the ability to double tap reload to just drop the mag out of my gun and immediately load in a new one, discarding all of the ammo in that tossed out mag. I don't mind this at all. I like it in Insurgency, I liked it in Advanced Warfare, and I want to see it in Modern Warfare 2, at least in the campaign. I believe stuff like mounting, tack sprinting, quick reloading, tuck and rolling, dolphin diving adds a level of, flavor to a game. It makes the game feel like you're a little bit more in control of it. It adds a bit to the skill gap, and it makes you more mentally engaged with each and every gunfight. If it's not something you want to worry about, I'm sure the game could have a perk or weapon perk that allows you to keep your discarded ammunition after quick reloading. I would also hope there'd be unique animations for quick reloading and quick reloading while using sleight of hand, which could be some crazy rapid, like my magazine's taped to the side of the gun for easy access bullshit, and I think that'd be awesome. And again, you can't tell me it shouldn't be in the game because we don't know what the game's gonna be, and I can just say if it was done right. So, I win, make your own channel. The next thing I want is ripped right out of Halo Infinite. Surprise, surprise, I want to be able to drop weapons. The ability to drop weapons for your friends could make for some interesting stuff in private matches. It could be kind of cool for a co-op setting like in a Spec Ops or zombie type game mode. And while it'd be pretty niche and you wouldn't have a ton of reasons to do it all the time, I like the idea. Is it kind of pointless? Yeah, but I think it's also kind of cool. I would love it if my friend was on a streak but was running out of ammo or needed a new gun or something and I could just toss him my primary weapon and say, hey, go ham. That'd be really cool. Or I could just say, hey, I just picked up this gun, it's really weird, here, try it. Or I just customized this weapon and it's totally fucking amazing, here, try it. And you might think this is really pointless, but while it is kind of, it's not pointless if you have friends. So by calling this pointless, you're essentially admitting you don't have friends. I also think it'd be funny just to go up to randoms and be like, here's my 1911, see ya, like, for no reason. I don't know why, but that's hilarious to me. Now here's the next one that's kind of weird, but hear me out. I want there to be a specific reaction to using a C4 or demolition charge on a door. If in multiplayer I go up to a door that's closed and I have C4 on my class, I think it'd be awesome if I had a prompt to breach the door. And by breaching the door, instead of just blowing the door open or breaking it, I'd want there to be a unique animation of placing the breach charge on the door, and then when you detonate it, I think it'd be cool if it sent the door flying into the room instead of just breaking the door. Anybody on the other side of that door gets absolutely stunned and just gets their head taken off by the door flying at around 60 miles per hour through the frame. I think that'd be awesome. I think it'd be great to just have, you know, a room full of your friends just like holding down a building, being camping pieces of shit, and then suddenly a metal door flies at you from across the room, killing you instantly. One, you can't tell me that's not hilarious, and two, you can only breach the door once, so it's not a big deal. The next thing I want is ripped out of COD World War II, and that is pop on and off suppressors. I think there should be a suppressor that maybe is the weakest out of all the suppressors. It has the most downsides, the least upsides, whatever it might be, but it should have the ability to be taken off with a button prompt in mid-game. It'd be so nice to be able to pop my suppressor off my gun for certain engagements and then pop it back on for other ones. In fact, modular attachments like that in general I think would be really cool. You could have modular suppressors that can be popped on and off. You could have bipod foregrips where you can actually choose to extend the bipod out of the grip or retract it in to, you know, change your movement speed or stability. I think it'd be really cool if you could like collapse a stock on certain guns. So you could have an M4 with an extended stock that gives you great stability but lower movement speed, and then you can reach in, collapse it down, and it works more like a no stock weapon that has less stability but more movement speed. I think that'd be really fun, but mostly pop on and off suppressors, but just dynamic attachments like that would be really cool. Now, if suppression is going to be in Modern Warfare 2, I hope they do it in the way that I want them to. In Vanguard, suppression punishes you for moving when you're suppressed, which is dumb. Suppression should punish people that are pre-aiming and waiting. That's what it should be there for. It should be there to take out those entrenched people that have been mounting the same wall all game. I think you should get increased idle sway when shot at that immediately goes away when you start firing. Basically, if you're pre-aiming, you get increased idle sway until you shoot. If you're suppressed, I think that would work pretty well. Suppression would then punish people that are camping and waiting instead of people that are just trying to move around the map. And of course, you counter it by firing your weapon. I don't think suppression should affect you while you're shooting and in a gunfight. I think it should affect you while you're holding your sight on a doorway across the map like the camping piece of shit you are. Or I am, sometimes as well. Either way. Suppression's a messy topic, I know not everybody likes it, but I just feel like it should punish somebody that's waiting, not somebody who's moving. Now, two little things here. I want my UAV to get fuzzy when being shot at. You know the effect of like a CUAV, you know, blocking out your radar, you can't see, it's all staticky or warbly or whatever. I think that should happen every time a bullet hits your UAV. I think your minimap UAV effect getting all sort of stuttery and warbly as the UAV is taking damage would just be a cool detail, as well as just a fun way to know that your UAV is getting fucked with. So let me know what you think about that. It's a dumb idea, it wouldn't affect gameplay too much, but maybe it helps you track down somebody who's been shooting down your streaks? I don't know. The last thing I'd like to list off is straight out of Battlefield 2042, but also Battlefield 1. I want weather. I want weather. Now, not crazy visibility killing fog or huge blizzards that make it so you can't see, or dust storms or whatever. I just want for the sun to go behind the clouds occasionally. I want some light rain and snow. I want a little bit of, I don't know, time of day change throughout the match. Call of Duty's a simple game, and we end up playing the same maps for years and years on end when we revisit the COD games, and I think it'd be cool if every time you play a map in Modern Warfare 2, maybe it's a little windy, or maybe it's a little rainy, maybe it's overcast, maybe it's bright and sunny. As long as it doesn't hurt visibility, which is totally possible for them to do, I think it'd be a really cool concept, and I'd love to see it applied to the game in a dynamic way. Now, just throwing this out here, I would also love a map time of day shift. For the NVG mode, if they have it in there, I think it'd be really cool if matches would start either at night and go until morning, or start like in the evening and go until night. So like maybe the first 5 minutes of the match are, you know, brightly lit and very visible, and then gradually over time, it gets darker and darker until you might want to use your night vision goggles, at least in key areas and buildings. Maybe the entire map is pretty visible outside, but as soon as you go into rooms, that's when the power's out and you need to use night vision. I think this would make night vision more interesting, so you don't just have an entire match of, hey, it's Call of Duty, but green. And let me know what you think about that too. Anyway, those are just some spitballed ideas I'd like to see in Modern Warfare 2. I know this video's dumb because we don't know anything about the game or how it's going to be designed, what the weapons and maps are going to be like. We don't know. Infinity Ward's last 3 Call of Duty games have been all over the map, and while I do think this game will have more in common with MW 2019 as compared to anything else, but at the end of the day, none of that matters. I think these ideas are hypothetically cool on paper, and if you don't, that's fine, but we don't know if they'd work or not. It depends on the game. This is just a fun video for me to get my ideas out. So suck it, goodbye.